today, like I said, since I have you here, you are working with mentors, you run a mentorship program, you're a mentor yourself and everything. Just the perfect person to talk about mentorship. So I want to gravitate to student mentorship, but I just want us to start from a general perspective. What does mentorship mean to you?
It just means having someone who can guide you and who can be a representation for you. Because most of the times you find someone who is at a place where you probably want to be. And sometimes they are the only person that you have access to. And when you have a relationship with them, you get that thing, yeah, where it's actually possible to be where I am. So that's what mentorship means to me.
Okay, this is it. This is the StudentPlug, where we actually talk everything student support and development. I was about to say Kabaribe Baba, fire! Because as you speak...
I think that's caused by, when you're from home, your parents will just tell you, oh, we can varsity, you shouldn't do anything else. Buga fail, so that
100%. You can really excel. Everyone can do it. It's not about how smart you are. Get the right plans in place, and there's no reason why you shouldn't give record time, finish your course.
Yeah, I think that was well said. So you spoke about something which I think is also very much important. You cited that you actually come from a very supportive family, and I find that the role of a supportive family, or the role of a supportive structure, whatever that is that someone has, but I think family foremost is very much important. And I find that with a lot of us, Black students who come from families that have not been to varsity, they don't really know what's happening and stuff like that. Sometimes the support lacks and everything like that. How do we foster that, supportive structure? If we don't get it from home, how do we create it, especially as a first year, like how do you actually create that? Because I think that is very much important, because as the year goes by, when things start to be tough, if they do get tough, or when someone encounters challenges, they do need a supportive structure.
So that's why, like in the beginning, we were talking about, exploring other avenues, because, there are different organizations, at universities, that a person can be, a member of. I think every year, in the beginning of every year, you might see a lot of groups, just telling you about what they're doing. I'm not sure if they're doing that because of COVID, but once you become a member of these organizations, you might find a lot of support, but also universities also offer, I think, counseling, so through that, there's a lot of support that you can get. You might find that you're not actually the only one. You might meet other people, where you can form groups, where you get to, just talk about your experiences. And I think that, really helps, a lot of tips you can get, or just, form friendships there, so I think, those kind of things really help, and it will also help, for every student to try to find a mentor in this kind of groups, because that person is going to really help you, in your, undergrad year. And maybe even, if you decide to pursue your postgrad studies, you will definitely have that support. So I think let's not undermine these organizations that, are in varsity. They can really help.
And I think mentorship is something that sometimes we downplay it, especially if you have never had one. When I came to varsity myself, I didn't know what a mentor is. Well, I knew about mentoring and everything like that, but now that is now I have to have a mentor. Like for me, it was like, it was different, and I was not, and no one told me about that, to be like, hey, you need to get a mentor when you get there. And the thing that sometimes I tell students is to say, in every course, because mentorship can be broad, you can have a general mentor for this and this and this, but I'm like, the course that you're doing, somebody has done it. You get what I'm saying? So if you find somebody who can mentor you in the course, like have a course mentor, but also we must be very careful, because some people can be negative. The next thing they start to be like, hey, course Charles,
it deals.
it builds, you know. So I think we must also, I mean, first years as being particular, they must also have a way of filtering information. But I think mentorship is very, very, very important. I would say that if you're a first year, I think getting a mentor or joining organizations that offer that kind of support, I think that is actually very, 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 very important. And the transitioning for you, how was the transitioning?
Sure. But what I'd say, because the lucky thing for me is that when I came to varsity, there was a group that was from the same school, you know, that I come from, my KC High School, shout out. So I think it was easier because they were there, you know. So I didn't really struggle that much, you know, in terms of, you know, getting used to varsity. Just the course, I think, you know, that difficulty, the course difficulty, I think that was the only challenge. And I think I'd say my mistake was, you know, not. So I was so afraid of, you know, lecturers. So, you know, having to go and consult was a very difficult thing for me, especially because, you know, when you're in class, you know, as a first year, and these smart kids, you know, asking questions, you know, and then it's questions you never even thought of, you know, and they somehow, it seems like they become the lecturer's favorite, you know. So you now all of a sudden, you know, you don't want to go and consult because you're thinking, you know, there's a friendship that exists there, and since I don't ask this kind of questions, I can't be, you know, going to this lecturer to ask them questions. I think that was my, you know, that assumption. I think that was my mistake. But I'd say that, you know, it would help any first year, anyone, in fact, you know, to always consult, even if you're not confident with your speech, you know, with how you sound, go and ask your question. Lecturers are human beings. Lecturers, you know, they are there to help. You know, they don't really, you know, they don't always have favorites, you know. Just go and, you know, consult, and I think you will get help. So, but for me, I think that was the only challenge. But other than that, having people around me really helped me a lot, you know, like, because someone would say, you know, guys, let's go and, you know, go outside campus. It's a nice place there. Let's go and check it out, you know. So it will help also, because I think my discipline helped me to know that, okay, I'm going to be there for a certain amount of time and come back, you know. But it wasn't really that difficult, to be honest with you.
Yeah. So I think maybe the first point, you know, maybe making friends or like having a network of people, you know, I think joining, like you say, student societies is one point to start at, you know.
Please, please, guys.
You
That's
know,
very important.
The funny story about consulting, especially in first year, you know, and people asking questions in class so that you feel like they are very, you know, like, you know, very intelligent questions, and you even start downplaying yourself as stupid. Because I remember, you know, there would be people who would ask questions and the lecturer would be like, no, you'll do that in second year. You're like, like,
I mean, imagine. Like, what are they even talking about?
You know, you're like, yo, this is gonna be tough. Yeah, but you know, like what I have found, especially in this regard, is two issues. You know, the first one is confidence. You know, I think the space is huge. You know, and we sometimes have people who come from very small areas, or like very, you know, our backgrounds are not different. So the confidence, and number two, the language. You know. Because now all of a sudden, you know, maybe you have a lecturer who's communicating, and maybe the lecturer is white, or maybe, or even if the lecturer is black, but you know, the English is the medium of
communication is English.
So language and what is the other one? And confidence. You know, and I remember at some point, you know, I think it was in the structure. In our fellowship, I remember in one of our talk shows, you know, you did talk about the issue of language. I think I think the question was how to improve your English at varsity. And I think when it comes to someone who's very, very meticulous when coming to the Queen's language, you know, like that I know, you know, is you. Like I think I trust you in giving you something and be like, you can be the Grammarly, you know. Yeah. So how can, because it's an issue, like how can students, especially first years who come from those backgrounds whereby English was there but it was not really that hardcore, how can they improve their English?
So now the nice thing about varsity is that they actually offer this kind of support, right? If maybe you don't, first of all, if you don't know how to use a PC, you can talk to your lecturer, and then they will direct you to where you have to go. There are groups that are there to help you, to help you just basic computer skills, and also English, comprehension. They even offer this to lecturers as well, because we come from different backgrounds. Some come from different countries. So if someone is not, comfortable with that, with their English, they can, go and just tell you, like, be honest with the lecturer, and that can help, and it's not to say that, if people are not good at English, then they cannot excel. You definitely can, but I think it helps you, with understanding questions, just with comprehension, but for me, what I did is that, because I didn't know about, these platforms, I just went to Google. Just to learn out, because I had a very good English teacher, but there's always room, for you to learn, also for typing, because I wasn't fast, when it came to typing. So there are games on Google where they even time you, and there are prizes, not physical, but it's just levels, so you when you just go on those platforms, just check how to master English, how to type fast. I just want to do that, and I just I'd spend maybe 30 minutes of my time a day. And then that really improved. That really helped me with my English, and helped me with my typing as well. Because you really need to know how to type fast. Especially if you are one of those people who do things late. You will have to be very fast. And also in varsity, I feel like sometimes speed helps you. Time, if you can do things in a very short space of time, that can help you. But the university really now, they do provide that kind of support.
The thing is, the thing is, I think sometimes we get lost in, when you come to varsity, probably, you are a top student or something like that, or so you feel like you don't need any help. In fact, what even frustrates a lot of students that I've seen over the years, especially first years, is that the fact that they need help, that actually just frustrates them, because they've never actually be in a condition whereby they need help, and help is there. I was very surprised this other time. I was attending a workshop on presenting, and I was like, why am I attending this now? How many times have we presented, only to see this now, and the place has always been there. I've always been passing by there, but I didn't know that actually they do offer. And you hear now and then students going to presentations, but sometimes the presentation is not that good, but you do have. I think just also coming to terms that you need help, like being honest with that. I need help, because pace and time moves,
So when you get to varsity, I remember our first year physics, I think it was Dr. Albers, if I remember him very well, our lecturer, said to us, guys, whatever you have learned in school, please forget it. That's what she said to us. Please forget, because she was, giving us room for us to say, okay, we need to start afresh. We need to start learning new things now, So let us, not be arrogant, and say, now I was the top student. Now I got this. So it helps you to always be like, okay, I need to learn. This is a very new environment. I need to find my way. I need to navigate this place. I need to learn, and because we are always focused on course alone. We don't think about, other platforms that, can help us, to actually get us to complete our degrees. Because there's probably everything that a student needs at varsity. If you ask. Just ask. Just ask them, you get the answers.